You're taking it.
1 hour, he will kill another one.
Egypt Air Flight 648 was a tragic hijacking incident that took place on 23rd November 1985 and became one of the deadliest acts of air piracy in aviation history. The Boeing 737 was operating a scheduled flight from Athens to Cairo when about 10 minutes after takeoff, three armed members of the Abu Needles organizations hijacked the aircraft. An unexpected confrontations occurred when an Egyptian security officer on board attempted to stop the hijackers, leading to shootout inside the cabin that caused injuries, panic, and damage to the aircraft fuselage, forcing the pilots to descend to a lower altitude.
After the hijackers told the pilot to go on a lower altitude, this is to prevent the hijackers to being spotted or tracked by the air traffic controller. So on, the hijackers made the decision to change direction and headed to Malta instead of its original destination. Flight 648 were headed to Malta. Hijackers later on injured and killed and shot some of the passengers, and this create tension in the cabin. There was explosion and gunfires. The aircraft was damaged severely and was written off later on.
I'll be talking on the cause and legal issue that lead to unlawful interference. So in this case study, the main cause of Egypt Air Flight 648 incident was act of unlawful and interference, especially after the aircraft has been hijacked. So what happened was these hijackers were able to board an aircraft, and take control, which clearly explains and shows us that at that moment, aviation security system was not that strong enough to prevent such incidents, such threats. Air loss perspective, hijacking is considered as one of the most serious offenses in civil aviation because this threat can directly threaten the safety of the passenger, aircraft, and also the crews. So this incident basically shows us, demonstrates us that how single aviation security system failure can quickly turn into a major international crisis. Apart from that, the Egypt Air 648 hijacking also raised serious legal concerns regarding the protection of civil aircraft and the responsibility to prevent the unlawful acts such as before they occur. So now it shows that aviation security is not only the operational issue but also a legal obligation under international air law. Overall, this case basically highlight why preventing unlawful interference such as the threats, and why strict aviation security measurements are necessary to ensure safe and secure air travel worldwide.
Egypt Air Flight 648 is strongly executed with ICO NX-17 and NX-9. NX-17 deals with aviation security and the prevention of unlawful inference, including aircraft hijacking. Well, in this case, hijackers were able to board the aircraft with weapons, which is clearly indicate a serious failure in airport security screening and enforcement of security measurements required under NX-17. This failure allowed the hijacking and endangered the lives of passengers and the crew members. Well, as the result of this incident of Egypt Air Flight 648, international aviation security standards were later strengthened, and especially in terms of passenger screening, access control, and threat of prevention. In addition, ICO NX-9 on facilitation became relevant after the hijacking took place, when the aircraft was forced to divert to Malta and several states were involved to manage the situation. NX-9 provides the guidance on coordination between states, the handling of passengers and emergency situation response procedure.
Okay, so for this part, I will explain the international convention and regulation related to aircraft hijacking based on the Egypt Air Flight 648 incident. The hijacking of Egypt Air Flight 648 highlights the importance of international convention and regulation in dealing with unlawful acts against civil aviation. Although this incident happened in 1958, it later contributed to the development of stronger international aviation law to prevent aircraft hijacking and protect passengers. One of the most important conventions related to hijacking in the Tokyo Convention 1963. This convention gives the aircraft commander the authority to maintain order on board and allow state to take action against offenders who commit unlawful acts during flight. It also emphasizes cooperation between states when handling offences committed on aircraft. Another key convention is the Hague Convention 1970, which specifically addresses aircraft hijacking. This convention requires countries to either procedure or extradite hijackers, ensuring that offenders do not escape punishment. In addition, the Montreal Convention 1971 expands protection by covering other acts of unlawful interference such as sabotage and violence against aircraft and aviation facilities. So, in conclusion, international convention and regulation play a crucial role in enhancing aviation security worldwide. Cases like Egypt Air Flight 648 show why global cooperation and clear legal framework are essential to prevent hijacking and ensure the safety of civil aviation.
Responsibility for the hijack bear direct criminal responsibility. State as a optical under international law Tokyo 1963 AQ 1970 to prevent surprise and prosecute hijacking, but these privates do not create automatic civil liabilities for that. The primary justification as a responsibility under aviation communication. Malta landing or state airport had authority to manage the circus and pursue hijack, but was not a legal responsibility for the hijack. It's unless a clear branch of an international opinion is proven. The airport could act as a part of the state. It has no independent international liability. Civil compensation for wisdom generally fall on the airlines air under air carrier liability law Warsaw Convention, not on the state of airport.
In conclusion, the hijacking for Egypt Air Flight 648 in 1958 shows how serious aviation security threats were in the early years of air travel. This incident highlighted the dangers faced by the passenger and crew and exposed the lack of proper security measures at that time. The tragedy became an important lesson for the aviation industry and helped push for the stronger airport security, better crew training, and international cooperation to prevent hijackings. Today, this event reminds us why safety and security are top priority in aviation. That's all for me. Thank you.
And was captured after last night's commando assault that ended the Egypt Air skyjacking. Two Egyptian revolutionary groups have claimed responsibility for the skyjacking, which cost 60 lives. The ruling Soviet Politburo today endorsed last week's Geneva summit, but reasserted